MS-13, a gang built on violence and fear. Mara Salvatrucha, or MS-13, instilled fear across the United States. They were notorious for their brutality, their calling card, extreme violence. MS-13 thrived on terrorizing communities. The gang's roots trace back to Los Angeles in the 1980s. Central American refugees fleeing civil wars formed MS-13 for self-protection. What began as self-protection morphed into something more sinister: extortion, drug trafficking, human smuggling. MS-13 were involved in it all. They used machetes, baseball bats, guns, whatever weapon was handy. Law enforcement agencies across the country were grappling with how to combat this growing menace. In 2017, the FBI decided to strike back with Operation Raging Bull. The genesis of Operation Raging Bull: responding to a growing threat. By the mid-2010s, Mississippi, 13's grip on communities had tightened. Their violence was escalating. The body count was rising. The FBI recognized the severity of the threat. This wasn't just a local problem anymore, it was a national crisis. Operation Raging Bull was conceived as a multi-agency task force. The FBI would work alongside local police, state troopers, and federal agencies like ICE and the DEA. This operation wasn't just about making arrests, it was about dismantling the gang from the inside out. For months, undercover agents infiltrated MS-13's ranks, gathering crucial evidence. The message was clear: the FBI was coming for them. The Hammer Drops, nationwide raids target MS-13. The early morning raids were swift and decisive. FBI SWAT teams, heavily armed and equipped with tactical gear, descended upon MS-13 hideouts. Doors were breached, suspects were apprehended, and evidence was seized. The operation caught MS-13 off guard. The raids were the culmination of months of painstaking work. The FBI had mapped out MS-13's network, identifying key players and their strongholds. The operation crippled MS-13's command structure, leaving the gang in disarray. But the agents knew this was just the beginning. Section 4. Faces of the Operation Stories from the Front Lines. The human cost of MS-13's reign of terror was brought into sharp focus during Operation Raging Bull. One case involved a teenage girl who was kidnapped, tortured, and murdered by gang members. Another case involved a young man who was forced to join the gang under threat of violence against his family. These stories highlighted the importance of the operation. For the agents involved, the operation was both exhilarating and emotionally draining. They saw the worst of humanity but also witnessed acts of incredible courage and resilience. The stories underscored the dedication and bravery of those who put their lives on the line to combat it. Section 5. Navigating the shadows, challenges, and dangers faced. Operating in the shadows of the criminal underworld is inherently dangerous. The FBI agents involved in Operation Raging Bull faced numerous challenges and risks. MS-13, known for its ruthlessness, did not hesitate to retaliate against perceived threats. Undercover agents, living double lives, faced constant danger. One wrong move, one slip-up could have had fatal consequences. The emotional toll was heavy. Living a lie, even for a noble cause, took its toll on the agents and their families. But the agents persevered, driven by a sense of duty and a commitment to justice. They were fighting for the safety and security of their communities. Section 6. Operation Raging Bull. A resounding success and a continuing fight. Operation Raging Bull was a resounding success. Thousands of MS-13 members were arrested, weapons were seized, drug trafficking rings were dismantled, communities terrorized by the gang finally had some breathing room. The operation sent a clear message. The FBI would not tolerate MS-13's reign of terror. But the fight was far from over. MS-13, like any Hydra, had a knack for regeneration. The FBI knew that Operation Raging Bull, for all its success, was just one battle in a long and ongoing war. The operation did, however, mark a turning point. The fight against MS-13 is a marathon, not a sprint.